What's up, everybody? So, one of the things that's been bothering me lately is that I've come to the understanding that we keep talking to the idiot in the room, the one that doesn't want to learn. And just like the rest of my mutuals, I'm sure you guys have seen that the people that follow you, they know this stuff and they know to research it. And they know not to step into my comment section with nonsense because I'm going to call them out. So more than likely, they won't come in here unless they've done some homework, and therefore we can be able to have a conversation. Other than that, I either ignore them or I light their asses up with knowledge. But what I realize is that intellectually, a lot of these people will never be on our levels. So I'm asking myself, and I'll ask you too, if you can put in the comment section, why are we talking to these dumbasses? I mean, the dumbassery is thick with them. I mean, it is too easy to find facts, but they resort to their feelings about what they think are facts. And what got me was at the debate, you had J.D. Vance literally say that the Democrats were trying to censor the Republicans for their right to lie to their constituents, to the United States, and to the world.
But you guys attack us for not believing in democracy. The most sacred right under the United States democracy is the First Amendment. You yourself have said there's no First Amendment right to misinformation. Kamala Harris wants to use the power of government and big tech to silence people from speaking their minds. That is a threat to democracy that will long outlive this present political moment. I would like Democrats and Republicans to both reject censorship. Let's persuade one another. Let's argue about ideas, and then let's come together afterwards.
You can't yell fire in a crowded theater.
He literally said, we have a right to lie to our people, and the Democrats want us to tell the truth. Say what? That was really something you said to the masses? And these dipshits were still saying he won. How? He literally said the Democrats want to tell y'all the truth, and they won't let us lie to y'all. They're bad people. They're trying to censor us from lying. And when they get fact checked, which everybody should, they get pissed. I thought there wasn't going to be any fact checking. Who in their right mind should have agreed to no fact checking? You're telling me that you want your party to represent you to be a party of liars. If they're willing to lie to you, then everything they're promising you is what? A lie. And you want to vote for the guy fighting for his rights to lie to you. Misinformation, disinformation. I'm fighting so that we can have access to disinformation. That literally came out this fool's mouth. And I haven't heard any of these mainstream media people harping on that. I've heard them mention it like a flyby statement. I'm like, flyby? That should have been the number one thing they spoke about, and they still should be talking about it. This man is fighting to lie to you. He's not fighting to get you what you need. He's not fighting for any kind of programs to help your life out. He's not fighting for anything other than the same old Republican tired ass statements of tax cuts is going to help you, yet they never have. Tax cuts help the wealthy majorly. Over 80% of wealthy people benefited from it the most. Middle class got some. The poor, y'all was left out. It's just insane. And you have this revisionist history as if the Republican Party has really ever gave a damn about you. You can go back and look at the last 10 presidents, all the way back to Nixon, and you will see they have been playing this top-down bullshit forever. And every last time these top-down bullshits have happened, it has fucked up our economy. It has made the rich richer, made the middle class poorer, made the poor people poorer. And you guys literally want to have that back again. The only people who want Republicans back that they would benefit from are wealthy people and middle class people who know how to run the system. Poor people, working class poor people, you'll never benefit from them. Ever, ever, ever. Go back and look at it. When was the last time they created a plan that benefited you, that focused on you, and made the rich people an afterthought, but made the poor people a forethought? When? It has never happened. It has never, ever happened in the Republican Party. It goes against their ideology. They want you to pull yourself up by your financial bootstraps, right? while at the same time, they want to hold you back economically and intellectually. They don't want you to pull yourself up by your intellectual bootstraps. What other party would literally say, I love the poorly educated? Poorly educated people. Do you love being poorly educated? How's that worked out for you? The poorly educated does not benefit from this country. The poorly educated has never really owned a house or owned stock. The poorly educated don't get shit in this country. Manual labor is going away. Robots are coming. So you poorly educated people are fucked. And they say they like you. Not only like you, they love you, which means you are the engine in which drives them to their Porsches, drives them into their mansions, drives them into their yachts, their own planes. You're the engine while you're giving them money to be rich as fuck, thinking they got your best interest. They pulling your chain, and your chain is racism. Your chain is sexism. Your chain is homophobia. Your chain is not having, but it is the rich that holds you back from not having, because intellectually they know you're inept. All they got to do is put red meat in your face. Racism, sexism, we don't like these people, immigrants, and you go running toward that. But ask them, what plan do they have for you to have a better life? Kicking other people out? Well, guess what? If they kick out the immigrants in your community, who do you think gonna do the grunt work? White people, because ain't nobody else in your community. So the grunt workers get kicked out. So white people, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna put robots in your community and give your ass those whack ass jobs in which you're gonna be making barely anything, or you're gonna have to move out of the state or the city. I mean, be realistic, people. Pay attention. I don't understand how you guys have lived this long to not realize that a party that has never created a plan to help you. They have never focused on you. If they have, it's been so long ago, it's in the fucking rearview mirror, you can't see it anymore. Here you are talking about a Democrat party, talking about giving you $25,000 for your first home. If you've never owned a home and you in your 50s because you're one of the working class or the working poor, giving you $25,000 in the community that you're living in is a godsend. That's going to help you get property. That's going to help you end up getting loans. That's going to help you be able to get insurance. That's going to help you to have stock in this country. It's going to have equity in this country all these years. And that's something that you got to grab on. This motherfucker talking about tax cuts, which is going to give to the wealthy who's supposed to create jobs. And if they don't, you still fucked. And you literally have no other plan but to stick with the man that wants to shank you. Everything he talks about, he cannot produce. And nothing he talks about is specific enough to know what it's going to look like. And if you're going back to 4 years ago, our economy was fucked. And you're trying to go back 6 years ago, Obama's economy that he was trying to hold on to and couldn't. The man who could have handled COVID like other countries did that didn't have to shut down. But instead, when he was handed a task, he fumbled. And he had many chances in there to pick the ball up and run some yards. But no. He kept the ball on the ground, didn't do nothing. His thing was, let me divide the people so they won't recognize how fucked up I did. And he divided everybody so that you wouldn't recognize that the reason why your family members were dying is because this fool didn't know how to manage shit. Then you start to find out all his businesses have barely anybody in them. You find out that Trump Tower, when they decided to come there and do the show that you guys loved him in so much, his office smelled like total shit. He couldn't even manage his own $1 million spot. It smelled like crap, and they had to build a place because they couldn't do it in his crappy ass office, and they built him up to be this big businessman, and he had a trashy ass trailer ass home inside of a multi-million-dollar building. Y'all know how to pick them. That's all I gotta say. Y'all know how to pick them. But I want to speak to the average intelligent, the genius, regular folk. Y'all dumbasses, we need to leave them alone. We need to stop talking to them. We need to stop giving them opportunities. We need to stop fighting for them. We need to just leave them alone and let them just die out. Because I'm telling you, these fools can't do shit on their own. We cannot rely on dipshits to help run our country. There's a lot of them, but there's more of us. And once we can get to a point where we don't allow them in the process, they can vote all they want. But we should gang up on them as far as number-wise goes and give them fucking nothing. They don't want nothing but bullshit. They want lies. We need to do our thing, good people, and get them out the process. Not Republicans, MAGA. They need to get out of the process. Get back into the cave in which they came. Go Go back and learn something. Go to school and learn civics. Take credibility for your fuck ups and then come back when you have some kind of saneness in your fucking brain. Other than that, stop it. Just stop it. We're sick of y'all. You people are out here trying to act like you're intelligent when you're dumb as fuck. Just simple shit. Ask you, when was the last time the Republicans did something for you? And you have no answer. Your answer is what? Tax cuts. That was for the rich. What else have they done for you? Well, they created other plans. No, they focus on the rich and somehow you benefited. But for the most part, the rich benefited the majority. How about when was the last time the Republicans created a plan that the poor, the working class poor, because y'all want to call yourselves working class, but you're working class poor, right? When have you guys benefited the most? They always talk about middle class. Do you understand that the working class, poor people, low income, there's more of you than there are middle class. So how about them creating something for the working class poor and the low income people so that they can move to the middle class? How about from the bottom up? They never say helping the working poor. Because you know why? Because most of y'all who are working poor won't admit it. You literally think you're middle class. You're not. That's another problem we got in this country, accepting where you really fucking are. Once you can take responsibility of where you fucking are, that's when you're going to be able to become where you want to be. But if you already think you're there, what are you working for? If you think you're already there, you're not. Face the facts, then move your ass to the next class. But you can't move to the next class if you think you're already there. There's no drive to get somewhere where you think you're already at. There's only drive to get to places that you want to be. And if you can barely afford anything, and you're talking about, I couldn't get bacon, I couldn't get eggs, then your ass is one of the working poor. I don't care how much money you make. If you mismanage your money and every end of the month, you barely got anything in the bank and you barely got any savings, but yet you got a nice car, a nice house and all that, you're still working poor. You're not middle class because you live in a middle class neighborhood. You're still the working poor if you don't have any money saved up. If you're 4 or 3 paychecks away from being broke out on the street, you are the working poor. If you don't have investments that can last you from now until the day you die, you are the working poor. So please stop it. Accept where you are. There's nothing wrong being where you are. Some people like being the working poor. They don't want the responsibility or the hard work. But if you want to get to the middle class and then get to the upper class and then help your own people out, then you got to admit where the fuck you are so you can get where the fuck you want to be. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to people around you because it ain't going to help you none. Opportunities for what you want to be come when you're seeking them. If you already think you're there, you ain't seeking it. You're expecting it just to come to your house, knock on your door and say, hey, here's more money. It ain't going to happen that way. And Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, they ain't bringing it to your doorstep. That's something you're going to have to do. But you know what, though? Out of the 2 candidates, there's only one talking about giving you $25,000 so you can finally own your own fucking home. Be able to have write-offs every year, get some tax money back. Yeah, there's only one person talking about that. So you have a house for a long time, which means you have a write-off for a long time. That means every year you'll be able to get a few $1,000s back just because you got a house. You can write shit off, right? Instead of having an apartment, that means you can buy stock and then become middle class. Yeah. What is Donald Trump? Tax cuts. What's that going to do to you? So you can get a PS5 and still be in the same fucking position? Man, if y'all don't shut the fuck up with this shit. You need to learn about how your life in this country really works if you really think a tax cut is going to help your ass move from one class to another. Getting a house will. Yes, it will. It's just insane how you guys don't even think about progression. You think about your feelings and your dear leader. These people do. And even Democrats may think that one person can solve it. No, it's about fighting for what you need. And if you don't need $25,000 to get a house, if you don't need 3 more million homes being built so that we can be able to have more affordable housing, then you're really not trying to be a part of the country and take a stake in it. You're just trying to live in it till you die. If you ain't got nothing to leave your family, if you ain't got nothing that you got anything you can hold on, what was the purpose of your life? Just to come here, have a ball and die? Or are you going to leave something for your families? All right, then. I think for the sane people, the intellectual people, you're talking about leaving shit for your family. And the only person that's talking about doing that for you and for me is Kamala Harris. When and if she's elected, don't stop until you get your 25 G's. If you want a home, if you want to be a part of the country and have an investment and a stake in it, make sure these policies are pushed so that your life will become better. It's time to move from the working class, poor, to the middle class. If you're in the middle class, it's time to move to the upper class. Those things can't happen if we don't have the rich paying their fair share and therefore not draining us with all the taxes and giving us tax cuts and not them, having them pay more taxes. Sounds good to me, working poor. Sounds good to me, middle class. And the wealthy knows it sounds good. They're just too fucking greedy. They want it all while telling you somebody's taking it from you when it's actually them. I said what I said. I speak facts. Straight facts. No chaser. Fuck your feelings.